Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here for our first race of 2021, and of course it kicks off with the touring car division. Just about to get qualification underway here at a beautifully sunny Austin, Texas, around the Circuit of the Americas National Course. And what a season we have got lined up for you. For those that haven't heard, we're coming back bigger and better than ever here at FluxMotorsport with 7 different championships to tickle that pickle. And as mentioned, kicking it off with the FMTCC, and we've got a few new drivers in here just to try and mix things up. It's going to look tasty, believe me. Looking through practice, I think our reigning champion, TheConsole, is going to have his work cut out for him if he's going to try and remain the current championship holder come the end of season 1 here in 2021. Here it comes, ladies and gents, the confirmed grid for this evening. TheConsole takes pole position with Profubby alongside on row 1. J46 Dyson gets the better of Lecky in the end to form up row 2. Then Wadge in 5th position, followed by the runner-up of last season with All U82 in 6th. Tibby in 7th, followed by 074 Leggy. Then Jack Demenzies in 9th place, followed by Kovkarl in 10th. Then DJ Leggy obviously can't pick up with the pace of his father. Currently in 11th place, followed by Green Gaming. Casey Redwood in 13th, followed by Porsche Man. And then Old Smoky in 15th. So that is what we've got to kickstart this season. Keep your eye out, ladies and gents. It's going to be tasty into turn 1, and they are away. Looks as though, and there you can see those BMWs absolutely storming through. Looks as though they're going to make their way into maybe 5th position with 74 Leggy. He looks as though he's moved up into 4th. He's going all the way around the outside here, but it is TheConsole leading to Profubby with J46 Dyson in 3rd place. Lecky remains in 4th with Wadge in 5th. 74 Leggy in 6th position. It looks as though DJ Leggy just falling down a couple of places there from the start. Not too much drama here. Looks as though all drivers are away, and away quite smoothly. That's what we like to see here. And we've got a train of cars building up here with TheConsole leading to Profubby. Profubby coming under a bit of pressure from Dyson and Lecky there in the background. Also, Wadge is looking like he's going to be able to make his way up into this mix. They're just shutting the door on Dyson, not allowing him to cut through on the inside. Let's jump on board at the moment with Dyson. Let's have a good view of what's going on here. So that is Lecky ahead with Profubby and TheConsole just being able to pull away ever so slightly. He's almost got a second to Profubby at the moment. And that we've got a battle going on with the Dutchman Tibby at the moment, chasing down Jack Demenzies. Oh, and bit of commentator's curse, the first one of the year. Flip on over to Tibby, and he just loses the rear end, collides with the wall, and that's going to be some pretty heavy damage on that right-hand side of the beamer. Sees himself now slipping away, and now under pressure from 74 Leggy, who looks to try and make a bit of an improvement. You can see 74 Leggy's lap time, that last time around 138.9. That is much more what we come to expect from the older one of the Leggies. His previous lap to this was a 148, so improvement of 10 seconds that last time around. Look what's going on back here. Looks as though we've got a bit of a BMW slide fest going on there. Tibby just losing the rear end, holding off 74 Leggy at the moment. Is Leggy going to have the drive after that sort of smoke dramatics there from Tibby? Tibby tries to block off the place. He ends up giving it up in the end, though. I think Tibby is suffering for some damage from that collision with the wall. You can just see the odd correction, and looks as though the rear end a little bit skittish there for the Dutchman, the Chevelle. But 74 Leggy moves up into 8th place now, whereas DJ remains in 11th. Not too far away from Green Gaming, though. Looks as though, at the moment, from the split times, just over a second between these two drivers. Green Gaming in the Monster Energy with DJ Leggy in 10th place. In the BMW, you can see just in the rear of the screen. Looks like we've got a bit of action going on at the back It's 74 Leggy overtaking Tibby once again. So Tibby's obviously found his way past 74 Ledge, and that has now been reversed and repeated. So 74 Leggy moves up into 8th position, Tibby falls down into 9th, but still running well. The two of them going to score themselves some decent points at what is a rather tricky circuit for the BMW. I do expect that it'll come into its own in later weeks in this championship lineup. Some circuits certainly suiting the BMW, especially around Monaco. The rear wheel drive is certainly going to help around what is a very tight, twisty and wall-laden circuit. As we see 74 Leggy there just getting a little bit loose on exit. That's going to allow Tibby to try and put a bit more pressure on once again. It looks as though these two are going to be set up for a pretty close battle as this championship season progresses through. It looks as though we've got a bit of action going on at the back. Looks as though Old Smokey's about to make the move on Casey Redwood. He's going to try and hold on to the inside line. Casey Redwood, his front bumper just hanging off there, but he's done well to keep it out of the pits. The pit stop is going to harm these guys a lot. It's going to be pretty costly for the damage repairs and also for the pit entrance and journey through and out of the pits as well. Let's jump back over to the battle of the BMWs. Looks as though Tibby's about to take that place back. 74 Leggy does have the inside line, but he falls back into place. Obviously not confident that he's going to get that move done. In fact, we can see there as the camera angles itself out, there's quite a bit of different distance between the two. Bit of camera trickery once again. It did look as though 74 Leggy might have been able to make a move up the inside on exit, but just losing a little bit of traction, and the battle continues between these two. Looks as though we've got all sorts of action going on back here in 8th place between Tibby and 74 Leggy. Green Gaming is also not too far behind this as we see Tibby there making a huge mistake. It looks as though he clattered the camera. I don't think he clattered a wall, but that's going to lose out to 2 places in total. So 74 Leggy moves up into 8th place. Green Gaming now up into 9th. That'll be a strong finish from the Canadian in 9th place if he manages to hold it. Certainly looking to make that ground up as soon as possible as he... Oh, and a mistake there from 74 Leggy. Looks as though it was caused by Green Gaming, as we see Green Gaming doing the sporting thing there of waiting for 74 Leggy to get back on track. A little bit of a mishap there, but fair play to Green Gaming for waiting. That's going to allow DJ Leggy to try and catch up ever so slightly. But Tibby gets an absolute gift there, back into 8th place. And got a couple of seconds to play with as well now. Lecky, meanwhile, looks as though it's dropping away in terms of his sector times. That being said, my telemetry has reset, so just see the gap just forming up here between Profubby and Lecky. So I don't know whether or not that's Profubby pushing hard, but it's not being enough, unfortunately. In his debut race here in the FluxMotorsport Touring Car Championship, the race victory is going to go to TheConsole, followed by Profubby in what has been an epic battle between those two. Lecky 2000 comes across the line in 3rd position. In fact, looks as though there's been a race penalty applied. Lecky moves up into 2nd. What a turnout for the books there. Patience certainly paid off. We'll check out those penalties that have been applied at the end of the race. Wadge comes in 4th position, followed by All U82 in 5th. Jack Menzies now just coming around the final 3 turns to secure 6th position in his first race. Here are the final standings for this evening's racing. Penalties all round, it seems. Profubby though with a huge amount. So TheConsole comes out on top with 6 seconds worth of penalties. That just put Lecky 2.5 seconds behind. So Lecky will be kicking himself that he couldn't keep that one clean, otherwise he would have got the race victory. But still an effort from the top 3 drivers for sure. Profubby comes out in 3rd place after his 13-second penalty, but of worthy note, he looks as though he's come out with the fastest lap of the session, so it's going to be a bonus point for Profubby at the end of the day. Wajo comes out in 4th place. Great finish from him in his debut race. Even with a 3-second penalty, finds himself 4.5 seconds ahead of All U82, the season pro. Jack Menzies in 6th position with Kovkarl in 7th. And then 74 Leggy in 8th place, ahead of Green Gaming in the end. Green Gaming with a 10-second penalty, and finds himself in a pretty comfortable position despite that penalty, ahead of DJ Leggy. Tibby, after his early accident damage, has found himself down in 11th place, ahead of Porsche Man though, with Casey Redwood finishing in 13th. Then Old Smoky and J46 Dyson unable to complete the race.